Joining us now, former Washington Post Tehran correspondent and global opinions writer Jason Rezaian. He was held prisoner, you may recall, for about 18 months inside Iran. Jason, Iran's supreme leader has warned that the U.S. would face irreparable harm if the U.S. attacks, and a top advisor to the Ayatollah said that any talk of Iran surrendering is a big mistake. What's going on inside Iran? What might the supreme leader and his top officials be considering as they weigh decisions?
First and foremost, I think you have to remember that this is a regime that has been full of anti-American, anti-Israeli bluster for 46 years since it came into existence. And the might of this political system, this regime, has never matched up with the rhetoric. And we're seeing that play out right now. Of course, the destruction that the Islamic Republic has been able to bring to Israel over the last few days isn't to be discounted or downplayed, but this is the limits of what the Iranian capabilities are in the face of nuclear-powered Israel, nuclear-powered United States of America. So I think inside the country, it's chaos right now, both for the system, but for civilians who don't know what's going on, don't have access to communication with the outside world. But ultimately, I think that their survival is very much at risk right now. And as we've seen in previous moments of conflict or domestic uprising, this is a system like many other authoritarian ones whose lone goal is to stay in power. And I think we're going to see that play out in the coming days.
You mentioned that this regime is so anti-American. Why is that?
Well, I mean, the roots of Iran's anti-Americanism stem from the CIA overthrow of the prime minister of Iran back in 1953, but that has evolved into a very ideological driven system that sort of sees America as the hegemonic power of the world, trying to impose its will everywhere. It has staked its identity on resisting America, resisting American power. And we've seen that has cost the Iranian people tremendously in the form of sanctions, in the form of adversarial relations with pretty much everybody else in their region, all countries supported by the United States of America.
We reported in the past 24 hours that Iran essentially cut off internet access for a lot of Iranians. What do you think is going on there?
The vast majority of Iranians right now are unable to connect to the internet, unable to use telephones, unable to access satellite television, which has been a lifeline for them for information for years. I think part of that is anytime Iran's regime is under threat from the outside, the pressure that it extracts or enacts against its own population rises exponentially. They fear uprising, they fear opposition, and sowing chaos between the people of Iran and confusion, they see as beneficial to them, and at the same time will play up the civilian casualties and losses as we've been seeing already.
What do you know currently about public sentiment inside Iran, about its hardline leadership? Is there any kind of organized opposition pushing for regime change?
Unfortunately, the opposition within Iran has existed to this system since the day that it was founded back in February 1979. But this regime has been incredibly good at snuffing out domestic opposition. It's probably the one thing that they've succeeded at most. There is not an organized domestic opposition, and there's not a credible external opposition. So I think that the notion that the Iranians, in the midst of a war, will rise up against the leadership is far-fetched. But that doesn't mean that people are happy with the system or support the system. I mean, the reality here is that Iranians have no friends in their own state ruling over them, no friends in the country that is attacking them right now, and really no friends internationally.
Fascinating conversation. Jason Rezaian, thank you very much for joining us with those insights.